Yeah, my name is Case, and I'm from the Port Townsend Eco Village, also out on the Olympus Peninsula. And several people have mentioned the question of the recession and the effect of the economy in the last couple of years. And we have felt it very much so out on the peninsula, so much so that it has actually stalled for a while the development of the Port Townsend Eco Village. And we've had to recently make some dramatic changes in our legal structure in order to try to attract people who do have the resources to buy in. And I have some information if anyone's interested in Port Townsend. But my question to you is whether or not the recession has actually affected your community significantly. Have you had to figure out a way of supporting people who otherwise might have been able to pay their way but now can't because of the recession? Or has it not really affected your community?
I don't know that has affected us yet, but we are very aware of it. And in fact, our CSA gardening project is related to trying to get more food security. But the reality of people losing their jobs and not being able to contribute financially to the community is a definite concern.
Anybody else?
Well, we had 3 people that lost their jobs. However, they were able to get another job or manage like a retirement, early retirement or that kind of thing. So it hasn't been, we have a medical situation that's probably more difficult than the recession.
If there were some situation where someone wasn't able to pay into their dues or the mortgage or whatever it is, do any of you have something in place that you think you do to help them with mutual aid for a while, or would it be a sticky situation?
We talked about that. As of now, there are people who who might not have a job or are in debt to some amount. And after a bunch of money piles up, then they have to kind of come to the community about it and come up with like a debt contract situation. So we have that worked in, but we haven't really turned it around and tried to figure out how we as a community can help people. It used to be that when it was an only students kind of a thing, there was a scholarship fund for international students, and there is a discrepancy fund that amount that we have right now that there's in the positive, so we have some money, and that might be something we can do with it. But we're also working on trying to pay off the mortgage altogether so that it's cheaper in the long term. So it's complicated.
The one thing about people in the community is we tend to be pretty flexible, and we'll take different jobs or have different ideas, and because we can cooperate, we might be willing to have this person go in on a business, new venture. So that's the one plus that we have, and in my opinion, my knowledge of the communities around here, they just try to lower their costs before they try to bump somebody out or come down hard on them. I'm going to take 1 or 2 questions, and I need to be respectful of the time. I want to close up, and then there'll be naturally, I'm sure, a little mingling that we can just, help answer questions one-on-one afterwards. But there was right here, right there. Yeah, we better stop there. So we'll talk afterwards. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to also let people know that there are some of us who are forming a community up in Bothell called the Clearwater Commons. And we have some materials about that. And it's focused on community. And the other focus is that we're also restoring the land that we purchased for this. There's North Creek runs through it, which is the Salmon Creek. And we're actively working with Snohomish County Surface Water Management to restore the land. There's significant wetlands there. So that's a big focus for us. Is living in concert with the wildlife and trying to bring back wildlife is there. This is a suburban area that's being chopped up pretty rapidly.
And so people may be familiar with Clearwater School, like I am, and that is background. So they have a lot of kid focus in Sudbury Valley Freedom and Trust, sort of as a way of raising children. So, okay, just back here.
Yeah, I was wondering if any of you could speak to people or families who may not be ready to make the leap completely, all at once into a community. Are there any situations that you've seen that have been successful where people kind of are partly involved in the community, maybe on weekends, or and then kind of make that transition or something?
Yeah.
Yes, we have a associate program is what we call it. And we have people who live next door or people that live several miles away, and they come for dinner, they help us to cook or clean up, they participate in most of the events. They can't vote on money issues, but otherwise they really are, it's like they're living right with us. And it works really well.
I would recommend to anyone, if there's a community, visit communities, spend time, go to events. It's a wonderful way to meet people. Most communities are quite, even if they're technically full, are happy to share what they have with others, and it's a wonderful way to make that connection.
Okay, we have room for one more. Okay, just quick. Can we have your question, sir?
Oh, my question was, sorry.
I know.
My question was, I came late, so I don't know if this was answered. We just moved up here from LA to get out of the craziness of the city and look for community here. And my girlfriend just happened to go, oh my God, you know what's going on? So we came over here like 20 minutes ago. So my background is, I came up here to talk to people to find out who's got land, because I know how to build so inexpensively and so cheaply. I could put up, say, a 1,000 to 2,000 square foot home in about 12 to 24 hours with the new technology that we're doing that's windproof, fireproof, earthquake-proof, literally bulletproof. And it's awesome. So we're just looking for people to get together and maybe build some things. But the question I had was, getting back to the community thing, is individual rights as opposed to the collective rights. And I don't know if that was addressed, but when you get some people come in, could they change the way it was and said, we just don't want to do it this way anymore, and we voted this way, and you lose your individual rights for the whole. Does that happen, or is that not allowed, where this is your space, and even if everybody here couldn't stand it, that's okay, because that's yours and we have to respect it? You know what I'm saying?
I think the consensus thing may have spoken to that. Larry and Helen both spoke to the consensus process.
It's an important question, the balance between community and privacy.
Yes.
I'm not sure, we stuck you in at the end here thinking we might get...
The fact that one person can't come in and change anything almost no matter what kind of decision-making process you have, but it all depends on the size of the group and the kind of decision-making process that's there. If one very powerful person, charismatically or whatever wants to do that, sometimes it'll divide the group, sometimes they'll actually break off. It's so variable, but that's really a complex thing to try to come up with examples of what it could be.
I think it is important that people need, even in the most communal environment, I think people need a certain sense of private space. That sense of private space probably gets smaller as you feel happier and more connected and more trusting in your community. But some sense of being able to retreat from the group, even if it's walking out in nature. I mean, that again with time also, it's not as much physical space sometimes as time, but it's a very real need for people, and it's I think there are many successful stories of that in communities, but it is something to be worked on.
And stay in touch with NICA. NICA has been around for 20 years, and some of the events that it's held has been a spark for people to meet each other and start a new community or eco-village. It has happened, and there's people in this room, if you can hang out for a couple minutes, give us your name, or we'll give you our name and contact information, and we just thank you again for coming. It's been a great discussion.